Today we're going to talk about two SEC West teams that find themselves in similar positions due to the fact that they have not named a starting quarterback. And both these schools we've talked about before on this channel. We've had several film breakdowns from each school. But today we're just going to kind of compare the two to see what school is in the best situation quarterback-wise moving forward. First, we have Texas A&M between Zach Calzada and Haynes King, and we have LSU with Miles Brennan and Max Johnson. But before we continue talking about this competition and comparing the two schools, I just want to encourage you to consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We put out any quarterback-related content, whether it's film breakdowns, whether it's comparisons like this, whatever it may be. Any quarterback content is fair game here. Excuse me, my voice is gone from work this week, but we're going to still talk about these quarterbacks. So we're not going to necessarily compare film today. If you're interested in watching any film breakdowns, we've had several film breakdowns on both quarterbacks. We have high school film breakdowns from Zach Calzada and Haynes King, as well as a spring game breakdown. And then we have Max Johnson and Miles Brennan breakdowns, excuse me, from 2020 and from the spring as well, comparing them. So if you're interested in kind of how the quarterbacks are different, go back and watch those videos, please. So let's start with Texas A&M first, okay? So we got two quarterbacks with not very much experience at all. Calzada was the backup in 2019 and played sparingly. Haynes King was the backup last year in 2020 and played sparingly as well, but not real playing time, if you will, of course, with Kellen Mond being the starting quarterback. So both those guys are still in that competition, and both had similar spring games. Both did some things well, and both had some struggles as well. And so we saw both those guys take steps forward, but no one really kind of clinch that starting spot. What Texas A&M has going for them is a solid team returning. They finished second in the SEC West, and you know that they are a few solid plays away from competing with Alabama for that number one spot in the SEC West, but they need solid quarterback play here. And replacing quarterback Kellen Mond, who had a good career at Texas A&M, will not be an easy task, but both guys should be up for the challenge. Similar quarterbacks with differences. Zach Calzada probably has a stronger arm, put some zip on the ball, where Haynes King is probably a bit more mobile in the pocket. And they have a good surrounding cast around them, which is going to help them break in as starting quarterbacks, but still they're new, not a lot of experience, and so there'll be some growing pains as well. But regardless who wins that competition, we expect A&M to have good quarterback play this year as they continue to develop, and we'll see, I guess, when fall starts, who will be the starting quarterback. So the thing that they got going for them, good cast, good team returning. They were really good last year, but they don't have a lot of experience, but both good recruits. Haynes King was a high-rated recruit according to 24/7 Sports Composite. He was a 93 rating, which put him on a 4-star. And then, of course, Zach Calzada was a 3-star at an 88 rating, I believe, from 24/7 Sports. The other quarterback, James Foster, transferred to Charlotte before spring even started, so he is no longer in the conversation as well. And it's going to be similar to LSU having a transfer as well. So that's the Texas A&M. Excuse me. That's the Texas A&M quarterback room there. LSU, we have a bit more experience. Still not a lot, but still valuable experience playing in big-time games. Max Johnson started the last 2 games for LSU and went 2-0. He had 10 total touchdowns last year, including rushing and passing, only 1 interception. Did a lot of good things on the field, competed well, beat Florida, which was kind of one of the biggest upsets in college football last year, and really showed that LSU still has a great talented surrounding cast around them, and that if you have a good quarterback play, LSU could be pretty good. Max Johnson, lefty quarterback, probably a bit more mobile than Miles Brennan. Didn't push the ball downfield quite as much, maybe because of experience, but still looked good last year. And then, of course, you have Miles Brennan, started 3 games before he got hurt, had 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, over 1,100 yards passing, yards per attempt were about 8.5. So he really showed a good ability to push the ball downfield. And even though he went 1-2 as a starter, they weren't his fault. When they lost to Missouri, I think the LSU offense had like 40 points. When they lost to Mississippi State in week 1, they had like 30-something points. So they didn't lose because of Miles Brennan. So LSU has a great surrounding cast returning, even though they only went 5-5 last year. They have a lot of talent surrounding them. Both Max Johnson and Miles Brennan have a lot more experience playing in big-time football than the A&M quarterbacks do. However, A&M had a great season last year. LSU did not. LSU has a ton of talent, one of the most talented teams in all of college football. There's a lot of stuff going on. So outside of football itself and different allegations and kind of different off-field issues. So could that play a role potentially? So I think both teams are in a good position moving forward. It's just A&M coming off a good year, but don't have a lot of experience playing wise, right? But good young talent. LSU coming off not a good year, but they have valuable experience, and they've shown good quarterback play, can put LSU kind of right back to the top of the SEC West, which is where I expect them to be. So I'm not going to say exactly who I think is going to be the better team. I think going into 2021, LSU is in a better position from the quarterback stance, but that of course could change after the season 2021, depending on who wins the starting job for A&M and how they perform. But I want to know your thoughts. I want to know what y'all think. No film in this video. One of our first videos we've ever put out with no game film. If you want some more film, let us know. But again, we have a lot of game film for both guys that we've broken down. But let me know your thoughts. How do you think the A&M quarterback room compares to the LSU quarterback room, and kind of what your expectations are moving forward for each quarterback room? But regardless of what y'all think, I do think both quarterback rooms are in a good position moving forward. So that's it for the video. We'll see you next time on our next quarterback related video.